Welcome to Stormwater Drainage Solutions. In today's video, we're going to be doing an RCP joint repair and talking about how drainage pipes can create sinkholes. As you can see here, the ground is sunk and it's significantly lower than the ground around it. The cone that has been placed in here has also sunk over time. Now, this sinkhole has been forming for a little while now. This did not happen overnight. This took a matter of years to start to form. They form very slowly on some systems, and other systems they can form very quickly if the break in the line is severe. So this cone actually has to be yanked pretty hard out of the ground to get it out, and there's also a metal stake in the middle of that cone. So the maintenance guy that's in charge of this complex, he put a metal stake in there and then he put the cone over it. But as you can see, the grass has grown around it and it has also sunk more in the ground because it has been like this for a while, and they finally want to get it repaired. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be digging down to the RCP. We're going to open it up and we're going to find out where the break in the line is, and we're going to repair it. Now, RCP stands for reinforced concrete pipe. So when you're driving, those are the big concrete pipes on the side of the road that you see that they put in for storm infrastructure. That is what we're digging down to. As you can see here, we dug down and we did find where the leak is on the side of the pipe, and it is at a joint. Now, this can happen for many reasons. Sometimes the joints are just bad joints when they were installed. Other times they can separate due to ground movement. When we clean this pipe up, notice the top of it looks like it has already been repaired. We suspect that that was done when this system was installed. This community was built back in the late 80s, and that is when this pipe was installed. So to me, it looks like they pushed the bell and the spigot end together, and maybe this pipe was already kind of damaged. So they went ahead and they just used some mortar and they mortared around it, at least on the top here, to try to make the repair. But the problem is actually not here on the top. We are going to kind of clean the top up. That way our mortar will stick to it because we're going to put mortar around the entire thing. But the damaged area is actually towards the bottom on the side. Now, the way we're going to fix this is we're going to dig around the pipe and we are going to seal the hole and the crack that has formed in this joint. We're going to seal it with hydraulic cement. The reason we want to use hydraulic cement for this seal is because hydraulic cement will harden quickly within 8 to 10 minutes, and it will harden underwater. It will stay intact underneath water too. It's kind of like a putty. So first we will use the hydraulic cement and we will seal up underneath the pipe and we will seal the hole. I can feel where the damaged area is with my hand, so that is how I know where to put the hydraulic cement. So basically I will mix this hydraulic cement up. I will start to let it set a little bit in the bucket, and then I will begin to grab it, form it with my hand, and start to pack it up underneath the pipe around that joint and that damaged portion of the pipe on the joint. Now, whenever you're working with hydraulic cement, you have a working time of roughly 8 to 10 minutes with this stuff. It dries and hardens very quickly because of the chemical reaction within the cement. The other thing, when you're working with the cement, you want to use gloves when you are handling it. It will pull all the moisture out of your hands and it will cause severe irritation on your skin. So you do want to have some form of PPE whenever you are working with this cement. That is very important. So eye protection and gloves is what I would recommend. So as you can see, I'm putting my arm underneath that pipe where I know the separation of the joint is in the damaged section, and I am packing that hydraulic cement underneath it and around it. So like I said, you can do this underwater because it will harden up. Water will not affect hydraulic cement. Hydraulic cement is used to patch leaks underwater, and it does a very good job at it. Once we have the leak patched and the pipe is fixed underneath, we're going to go ahead and just use a simple hand pump to get that water out of there. But in this area, there is groundwater. So this hole will start to fill back up with water that's coming in from the sides. So we want to work quickly here. The next step after pumping that water out is we're going to mix up some mortar, and we're going to go ahead and pack mortar underneath the pipe. Now, this is basically a secondary layer of defense in case the hydraulic cement fails in the future. It will also have mortar around it. Now, that hydraulic cement is going to last years, so there shouldn't be any issues. But we like to go ahead and just mortar around the joint as well, just as an extra precaution. It doesn't take that much time to do, and mortar is not that expensive. You just need water, some bags of mortar, mix it up, and go ahead and just start applying it. So I'm going to just be using my hand basically for all of this to apply it, and I'm going to start at the bottom. I've already packed mortar up underneath that pipe, so now I'm going to start building it up and around the sides of the pipe. And I'm going to do this on both sides, and I'm going to go around that entire joint. Now that we have the entire joint mortared up, we're going to go ahead and just start to bury this in and pack it as we go. Now, the reason why drainage pipes can create sinkholes is because essentially that pipe acts as a cavity in the ground for carrying water. If a joint is bad, or if it becomes bad over time due to settling and ground movement, and it begins to separate, or it breaks, or some other event happens like a tree root gets into the pipe and opens up an area, over time what can happen is the sediment and soil above will slowly start to get pulled down into the pipe, and you will start to lose the above ground by it going into the pipe, and water will push the sediment and dirt through to wherever the discharge end is. Now, this is why we always preach to use tile tape on corrugated systems, because when water is rushing through these pipes, what it can do is it can actually create a suction, and it can pull dirt and fine sediment through the seam of that pipe, and it will begin to create a small sinkhole above it. That's why we always preach to use tile tape no matter what. And if you're using PVC, make sure it's gasketed, or glue your joints. Make sure you prime and glue them so that you don't have a separation that can potentially create a sinkhole. So when water is flowing through this RCP pipe and that joint is slightly separated and or damaged, that water will create a suction, and it will begin to pull the soil and sediment from above, creating a sinkhole. If you enjoyed this video or you gained some knowledge from watching it, give us a thumbs up. It really supports us. It supports the channel. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below. If you need storm drainage work in the Tampa Bay area, any type of exterior drainage work, French drains, downspout drains, channel drains, storm drain repair, give us a call at 813-614-3456. We can come out there, assess the situation, and help figure out a solution. Until next time, this is SWDS signing off.